need more volunteers and we need more financial support and more infrastructure so that if one team's out, then there's someone else that can fill that area.
Well, that's one of the things I've noticed about people that do search and rescue, and a lot of volunteers in general, but I'll speak for search and rescue, is that they're the people that have, if they're still in a job that allows it, they have accumulated vacation days. They're not the guys that you chew up their vacation days in March. They have vacation days. Search and rescue people, the people that really do search and rescue, and I know this is going to get a lot of people mad, but I really don't care. The people that really do it, I look across the board, they do not go on vacation a lot. They do not go that far away. It's just their nature, and the job holds them back. The people that are always on vacation sending pictures are not the people that do search and rescue based on my 20-year experience. They're the people that say they do it. But the people that are actually doing the job are not sending vacation pictures where they're meeting SAR people in another place and posing for pictures. They're back doing the job.
Most of our vacation time all of our vacation time pretty much is all, either for training or deployments. Yeah,
it's training, deployments, it's certifications, it's recertifications, because you just do working vacations. And vacation could be sleeping in a tent or, in an unheated cabin or whatever. It's just to get a certification, or vacation could be as sad and pathetic as an overnight search in Jersey. I've called that a vacation before out of desperation, but it's not, you've got to, it's a internally fulfilling thing. It's not something that's glamorous or satisfying. You've got to take pride in what you do. I've just started doing rope stuff because I've had some new people that are interested in rope. I haven't done it in a while, but it's still there. And I had my stuff broken down into different categories, and I had my mountaineering stuff. And somebody said, I said, this is for mountaineering and rock faces and blah, blah, blah. And somebody said to me, did they have mountains when you started? You are joking, right? You're trying to be funny here because if not, we got a problem. But you've been doing it for a point where you have to pay it forward. And I see people that and I'll just speak for SAR, but I see it in other aspects of volunteering where people want to go from probationary member to retirement party with nothing in the middle, no substance in the middle. And I think that to the best of my ability, I work as hard now, if not harder than I did when I started. I rarely cruise. I've gotten to the point where I do sit down. People will see me sit down. They never used to see me sit down at all. But you get older, you got to take it easy sometimes. But I see so many people, I don't see that push there in the younger generation to drive themselves beyond their comfort zone to go out and do a job. And most of SAR is doing very, very inconvenient things at inconvenient times in inconvenient places under random circumstances for no recognition or reward until the next one happens. I mean, would you agree with that?
It's not always unpleasant. I mean, I enjoy being out there with my dog. So, whether we're just taking a hike this way, we're looking for stuff. And the training part I enjoy. So whenever anybody says, can we hide for the dog? I was like, yes, I always like that. And the younger people just have to find their what gets them going. So I think when we do some of the public relations things, we're getting some of the younger people involved. It's maybe the technology will get the new generation involved.
It could be, or shutting it off or something, but it's not all bad, but a lot of it is. I say that we get to see beautiful places under bad circumstances, and they're always peaceful and everything. And I don't know that the circumstances brought me there, so I owe them that. And we go to many beautiful places, but unfortunately, lots of times the outcome, is a sad one for families. But it's the best outcome that we can hope for. We've done our job. Our job isn't always measured in someone, that thing on TV where the person runs through the field of daisies into their loved one's arms. That's nice, but that's very idealistic.
Well, it's like a puzzle too. It just gets to you. Like you just have to figure out, where is this going? Where is this person? Where is this going to take me? How do we resolve this?
That's my favorite part of it. My favorite part is looking at what other people have looked at before me and seeing something they didn't see. Because as important as the dogs are, and the dogs get you called most of the time, if not all the time, the failure that I see is that command doesn't do its due diligence and aim the dogs properly.
Oh, you're absolutely right. And there's this the mentality is more is better. So any asset is better than no asset. So just put everybody out. And it would be, again, like let's go take 5 pet dogs and clear this building. And then the next day the building blows up and people died. And it's like, well, they weren't bomb dogs. So the same thing is happening with the search and rescue dogs, is that they'll clear areas, but maybe it wasn't the right tool. Or maybe they didn't go to the right area. They didn't search the 5th floor, and that's where the bomb was. They only searched 3 floors. Or,
right.
There just has to be just such a system from start to finish. And you and I definitely, we've been on enough cases, deployments, searches, whatever you want to call it, that we've both come to the different way of doing things, but it works well together. You managed to get the dogs in the right place, and we managed to have dogs that maybe get us to the right place, even if we're wrong.
Right.
So it still works together, but there has to be some sort of a system in place.
Yeah, because we're all just stages in a process to have that final conclusion. And
for the family, you have to do it. We've been on multi-day situations, both of us, and many times where the family is just there and they're waiting and they think they have the resources that may or may not be there. It's not always, it's good. And
they really want a miracle, and they deserve a miracle.
I know I wouldn't go home if I had a missing family member. I'd be devastated, as would anybody.
Well, and part of the additional pressure now than when I started is that families have more access to you via social media and via other things to reach out. We have to respond based on being called by a responsible agency, police, fire, emergency management, etc. But the families can reach out to you, and we will talk to them and offer them guidance, but we cannot deploy people based on just a call from them, for the simple reason that many times those issues are resolved before we get there. And the people that want you desperately, if it's resolved, they don't call you to stand you down. They don't call you. They forget real quick.
No, what we are is we are able to help law enforcement with the bigger puzzle that they have. So they may have information, and they always have information that they don't share with us, and that's as it should be. They need us to sometimes go find and sometimes go clear an area and say, it's not there. Whoever you're looking for is not there. So we can cross that off the map, take that out of the puzzle, and maybe they have other information, and this just all corroborates together.
And a lot of times what we're doing, like you're saying, is we're just adding a little bit more to getting them in the right direction for a criminal case that they're working on and they're trying to prosecute case. That's just part of what we do. If you had, and I know you've got to go because you're doing dog trading or horseback riding or something, this yachting this afternoon or something in the beautiful weather.
Dog training. Always dog training.
Always dog training. A lot of dogs need to be trained. If you had magic wand or blank check, what would you do to fix SAR?
Well, that's a really big question. I've always been an advocate for standardization, certifications. I would really like to see, when I started, I don't know, true or not, people would say search and rescues where ambulance was 20 years ago. And that may or may not have been true, but if it was, that means search and rescues where ambulance was 40 years ago. So where have we gotten? I don't know. If I had a magic wand, I would have a proficiency exam from a third party outfit that, just like when you have ambulance respond, a fire department respond, a police officer respond, you know that even the worst person in class still passed their proficiency exam. And that would be the legacy I would like to leave behind.
So education
and certification.
Okay. Well, thank you for coming.
Thanks for having me.
And good luck with the dog training.
Thanks.